What's going on, folks? Once again, we're back here for the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. This time again from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Charlotte, North Carolina, man, 1.5 miles. Famous track, the home of NASCAR, and we are going to be getting at it again. The third and final race of the same state showdown, as well as the third installment of our Crown Jewel in-season tournament as well. So a big time, also the regular season finale tonight. Right now, we're going to find out who our 12 drivers locked in are, and then next week's wild card will determine the 4 beyond that to finish off our top 16 for the playoffs. Cannot wait to get this thing going right now. Always joined in with our friends, Brendan Bowie. How we doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing pretty good. Just celebrated a birthday yesterday, so I'm still on vacation / relaxation.
Love that, man. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Thanks.
Always a fun time. So right now, we're in the middle of qualifying. Let's go down trackside and take a look at what is going on track. One driver right now subbing in for Frankie Barroso. It is Christian Angel. Surprise, surprise. That's a late addition. But Christian Angel is in the car right now. Let's take a look at the qualifying grid thus far. Trevor Huff on the pole as it stands. Max Brady in P2. Kenny Brady looking very, very fast as of late. Looking to get himself a pole today if he can. In qualifying, Van Drugmond and Wyatt Tinsley, the fastest two. We'll see who can snag that pole today. A lot of guys looking pretty quick. Kenny Reel with a P4 right there. 4/10 off the fastest lap, but not too bad. Still has some time to get it going here. Austin Salyers up to P2. Big race today, Bowie. 175 laps at Charlotte. A little bit longer than a normal race here. Not quite going the full 60% of a Coke 600 vibe, but we're getting pretty close to it. And should be a lot of fun. Day into night race. 3 stages, or 3-stage break, excuse me. And 4 stages. Should be a lot of fun. James Thurston up front right here, 29.29. Jordan Fisher looking very, very fast as well himself. Trying to get that first win. Today could be the day too. John Cutler. Van Drugmond, here he is. Last week's winner. Uh-oh. What is that paint scheme? That is very different from what we've seen recently. Looks like a duct taped number 22 on the side of that thing, but we'll go with it. Bowie, any comments on that?
I do not. I plead the fifth. I guess. I don't know.
Sounds
I don't
good.
know what's up with that.
It might be a backup car. You know what? We're going to go with it's a backup car. Backup car, unfortunately, didn't bring a secondary vinyl wrap to wrap that car, so had to whip up the silver duct tape, slap a 22 on it, and off we go. So
yeah, I like that.
That's the lore we're going to go with for tonight. But Van Drugmond on the pole so far, 29.22. Bunch of guys. Ooh, Kenny Brady, I think, snuck it out at the very end right there. We couldn't get the time. But Kenny Brady seems like he's going to be the pole sitter today. Got the job done, man. Awesome job right there. Kenny Brady. A couple of guys didn't even qualify. Kevin King, Wyatt Tinsley. Very interesting. But a quick warm-up session. We already thanked all of our sponsors today. Big shout out, by the way, to IMB Racewear. Great guys over there. We have codes coming starting next week. We'll have 10% off coupon. So go and check them out, imb.com. We'll have a bunch of different things as well these next couple of races as we enter in the playoffs. But a cool sponsorship, and we appreciate them. So right now, a quick 5-minute warm-up session gives these drivers some time to kind of warm up, right? Take a bathroom break, drink, pit road exit, entrance, all kinds of cool things. Bowie, long race today. What do you think is the strat? Day into night, tire temps, saving tires, fuel. What's the culprit today?
I mean, I went out there and ran some laps, and it's going to definitely be an interesting race. The setup is a little on the snug side, so you are having to be a little aggressive on your master cylinders, which is your braking package, to try and get the car to kind of manipulate it to kind of do things that you need it to do. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just that once you kind of set things, you're kind of stuck with them. So as of right now, it's going to be not as hard to pass. I think during the night it's going to be even harder.
Right.
And man, the goal is going to definitely be to try and get to the front. You got to try and get to the front, stay up front. It's still hard to pass. Depending on how aggressive you want to be on your master cylinders, it could, be pretty, I wouldn't say easy, but it'll be a lot easier compared to the default to try to make passes. So I think, for the first couple of stages, stage points are still important, but you kind of don't want to burn up your tires. It's really, really easy to overheat that right front. And once you heat up that right front, you're just going to fall like a rock. So save your tires, save some fuel, try to be there at the end of the stages, and, try to be there at the end and try to go for it.
Yes, sir. Top 12 will be decided for the playoffs after today's race, and the next week we have the wild card. So anybody from 13th to 20th in that points bubble. Next week, the top 4 out of those 8 move on to the Championship 16. So a lot of fun, something different, and man, cannot wait. Last year was a lot of fun doing this format, so can't wait to get to that. Real quick before the warm-up session ends, some breaking news. Well, not really breaking news, I guess, but definitely news that I feel like is needed to be said now. It's a good time, regular season. Listen, Bowie, man, we've been talking about this for a little while here, and we've been doing this a long time, right? This is our 9th season, and man, it's been a hell of a journey. Been a lot of fun. And man, it's just been so fulfilling. Ups and downs, all kinds of different things, right? Listen, for those of you who don't know, I run the league, have been running the league, also the broadcast. It's been a lot. Things have changed for me personally, for the better. This whole series in league was birthed out of COVID. Wanting a community, wanting to just have some fun, just something different, right? And man, I am so glad it has come to that. So, hey, we have never taken a break out of our 9 seasons. Yeah. Never taken a break. A lot of leagues do like a, extended break once in a while. I know many leagues do that. We have never. We've been going on for 4 years straight. Every off season we take about a 6-week break just to kind of, take a little breather and recruit and things like that. But we've never taken a break that has been extended enough, and honestly, guys, I am just kind of burnt out. Not necessarily a bad thing, right? I think it's natural to get to that point, especially for doing this for so long and working hard enough to get it to this level. So, yeah, I need a break. A lot of good things. I want to enjoy the holidays. I want to take the beginning of next year and focus on the endurance racing, Bowie. You know all about that, and we're gonna try and win some of those, but. Yeah, I need a break, focus on my kids, kind of take a breather and kind of just, evaluate life and kind of go from there. So we're going to take a break after season 9. That's kind of the announcement right now. Honestly, the intention is to fire up again for season 10. Ideally, maybe July, August is when we're looking to maybe get that going again. Take a nice 6-month-ish break. The season right now will end about December, right before Christmas. So that's kind of the goal, just take a break, focus on some things that I need to focus on, kind of see where I feel we're at that point, and yeah, fire up season 10 if the interest is there. Either way, if not, if a Cup Series, season 10 doesn't come out of this, then we'll definitely have a lot of fun things planned. I've got a lot of fun races, Billy, that we've been talking about. I'm not going to spoil yet, but a lot of cool things that I think I want to see blown up. A lot of guys do these big money races and big one-off races that I think we can kind of, do. So maybe ASRA becomes kind of a specialty event league more than a Cup Series league, but we'll see. A lot of things to decide. but the intention is to fire back up for a Season 10. Again, if the interest is there. Maybe it's not next gen. Maybe it's ARCA. Maybe it's Gen 4. Maybe it's some other popular car that people love, you know? So we are open to some more ideas. The reality is the next gen car too, Bowie, is just, it's not as popular as it used to be. And, you know, hopefully some changes are coming and things like that. So a lot of different factors, but that is the announcements. But hey, we're going to finish off the season strong, and I'm looking forward to it. So thoughts, Bowie, before we get going here?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think you know, it's one of those things, like you said. You know, we've been doing it for 9 seasons, right? Or well, I should say, you have been doing it for 9 seasons. I came in with my drivers in season 3, and it has been non-stop since. So you know, sometimes you get a little break, get a little reset, and allow yourself to kind of look at things maybe a little bit differently, and maybe check out things or whatever. And hey, I mean, sometimes that's a good thing. It's not really a bad thing. So, you know, you just see how things go, and we'll take it day by day, or week by week, month by month, and you know, we'll just see how things go. I mean, I think a lot of the things that, you know, like you said with the Cup car, you know, the Cup car definitely has some challenges. But they also do in real life, and the good thing about iRacing is that they, you know, it's almost not exact, but it's pretty darn close. So sometimes, you know, change is good. So, you know, we'll evaluate and see how things go. But best to believe, ASRA is not going anywhere, whether it's, you know, another Cup Series or Xfinity or ARCA, like you said, or a special event. Definitely, you know, for the fans, continue to stay tuned. I'm pretty sure it's going to be big, no matter what the final decision is.
100%. Yeah, my heart is definitely still in with iRacing, and I still want to contribute in some way, right? Again, things have just shifted for me. I want to be able to focus more on fun, and you know, I like the idea of focusing on one big race than maybe a 20 race season, right, for a Cup Series. So I don't know where my loyalty lies in that regard. But again, I'm open to kind of anything at the same time. So, listen, it's been a journey, been a hell of a journey, but your boy needs a break, okay? And that's what's going to happen. And that's the breaking news. Been thinking about it for a little while now, and definitely need it to happen. So we're going to do that. A proper announcement will come out a little bit. Drivers who are either watching the broadcast now or whatnot will find out then, but we'll make an announcement to the Discord and the league after this race. So give some time for them to find some different leagues maybe for the spring and kind of explore other options for now. But good stuff. I'm always excited to get this thing going. Right now, hey, we have 175 laps in front of us. Cannot wait to get this thing going. Race details real quick before we get going. 175 laps, stage 1, 25, stage 2, lap 75, whoops, I put stage 2 again. Look at me. Just a graphical nightmare. Lap 125. That's supposed to say stage 3. Jeez. Anyway, here we go. Green flag about to be out. Kenny Brady, Van Drogmond in a backup car. Green flag is out.
Looks like we already got the 1 in the wall. Looked like that was the 24. Was it Jordan Fisher?
Yeah, Jordan Fisher took a little dive into the outside wall. I can't really go back to it, unfortunately, but man, huge moment right there.
I can kind of give you the play-by-play. Max Brady made a move 3 wide, and Fisher was there and kind of collided and put Fisher in the wall. So, man, that's a hard way to start you know, and then I would call it an endurance race, but a long race like this, toe link is broken the right front, so I'm not sure how this is gonna go for him for the long haul.
Yeah, and things like that. Listen, I mean, that's also why a lot of these guys are frustrated about this season too. I mean, you know, and just to be honest, you know, a lot of this season, man, it's gone kind of, you know, numbers are low. Yeah, racing's been a lot better the second half of this season so far, and obviously it's hey, that can sometimes happen. Beginning of the season was pretty rough, as we all know, but I mean, hey, a lot of these guys That's why, I think people are frustrated. Hard to pass the car itself too, but I mean, Jordan Fisher, unfortunately, going to be not out of this thing, but in pit road right now. I mean, you just hate to see it. Lap 1, I mean, what are we doing? Zero patience, 175 lap race. I mean, I just, for a Max Brady, I don't know what we're doing here, but it's all good. That's how these races can go, I guess, Bowie.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little rough to be doing that. We didn't even complete a lap, so hopefully, it's well, not even hopefully. I mean, it's just bad all around, honestly. So, especially for the 24, who now has to basically wait, get damage fixed, and then limp around for the next however many laps, so until we at least get a caution. There's no stage cautions anymore, so wow, that's a rough way to start a race. But again, like you said, I mean, these things happen. It's part of racing, but man, that's definitely something that somebody's going to remember for sure.
Yes, sir. And one thing too, we haven't really talked about, I mean, our announcement earlier on, hey, I personally love broadcasting. I really, really enjoy it. And I know you've been kind of in the booth with me for, I mean, this season, also in the past, I believe season 5 or 6, one of those. But this is a pretty big passion of mine. I really do enjoy this. I like putting on a good show. And, I'd love to honestly explore kind of more of this, maybe take on more leagues like I have been in the past, but it's a lot of fun to do this. And it's hard to kind of maximize the league and race day at the same time, right? Like, I want to make race day better graphics, better, cooler little things here and there, but it's hard to do that when you've got this other responsibility too, and with the league. So, I mean, I would love to see, this channel expanded and to be made pretty big as well. So, but yeah, perspectives change, and I'm looking forward to whatever happens next after season 9. Up front, Kenny Brady looking very, very strong in P1. Could today be the day that Kenny breaks through and gets a win today? Already pretty much locked in on points for the playoffs. Again, today is the regular season finale for the season. Well, looking pretty good. Van Drugman, winner of last week, the Roval. We didn't broadcast last week, I apologize, but Van Drugman did win that race, very dominant. Pretty much pitched the perfect game, Bowie. Got all the playoff points, the pole, stage wins. Looked very fast.
Yeah, basically led. No, I don't think he led flag to flag, but it was basically a domination fashion. I know a lot of people don't like the Jimmy Johnson era of domination, but that's kind of how it looked.
Oh, the Jimmy Strat. We're gonna talk about the Jimmy Strat.
Yeah, the Jimmy Strat. The Jimmy Strat was pulled off.
It was in full effect.
Yeah.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Actually, nobody in the chat understands that joke, but that makes it funny to me and you. It's all right. Because nobody truly knows what the Jimmy Strat is, except very few people.
Yeah.
So, it's all good. But right now, hey, we have 25 laps. Again, stage 1 ends, lap 25. Kenny Brady up front, looking very, very fast. Trevor Huff, obviously, in P3, looking to catch Van Drugman. James Thurston P4, Kevin King in P5. We haven't seen Kevin King in a couple of races. And glad he's back. Very, very fast. A contender for this championship if he is able to complete the season. Very, very fast. Has already won a race. So, again, locked in and looking pretty good. But, man, a lot of fast drivers today. Quick update on Jordan Fisher. Looks like he's potentially out of the race. I don't see him on track anymore. Man, that's such a huge bummer to see him out like that. Just a fast guy. Very, very fast driver. Try and get a quick update on him as far as championship standings wise. I'll try and bring that up for us in just a second. Yeah, so actually 6th in points. So, gonna be okay for the playoffs. Joined the season late, actually. He joined, I think, the 2nd or 3rd race. So, he was able to get all those points pretty quickly, Bowie. And he'll be a playoff driver for sure. I think he can do a lot of damage. Obviously, yeah, he probably want to, race tonight. Unfortunately, it's
absolutely
early. Get killed in lap 1, but man, unfortunate. But I've got a feeling Fisher is going to be a force to be reckoned with in these playoffs.
Yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's, I kind of thought that, you know, there would be a lot more like kind of give and take, you know, again, being that this is the season finale and you don't want to, again, you don't want to start up any drama or ruffle any feathers, you know, because you go in playoffs and then it's game on. So,
agreed.
You know, you just don't want to do that. And I was trying to look and see where Brady was, and Brady is technically sitting P17.
Whoa, Kenny Reel flying through the infield grass right here a little bit. Looks like might have gotten loose at turn 4. Maybe had contact, but keeps it going straight right now into turn 1. He's good to go, man. That was close.
Yeah, he's actually, I've been kind of keeping an eye on him. He's kind of been a little all over the place. Sorry, I can't talk. With coming off the corner, so not sure what he's got in the car, but doesn't sound like he's really in favor of it right now. So he's just gonna have to take it easy and just kind of either wait for a caution or kind of let the tires cool down and try to get back up there where he was.
Yes, sir. Oh, right now Smecker into Halsey. They were just door to door a second ago out of turn 4. I don't know if that was some displeasure out of Smecker, but man, he was just all over him right there. He makes the pass. Oxendine as well gets through past both of them. A couple of guys, I mean, man, Oxendine, Smecker. I'm looking at a couple of guys back here. Didn't qualify too well, Bowie. Have to get through this field, and again, no guaranteed cautions in this race. Very hard to navigate.
Yeah, it seems like maybe there's some there's some aggressive driving already. Lap 17 of the race, so guys got to settle back in. Again, it's a long race. We got to be able to finish it first before you know, to even be able to have a chance at whether it's getting a win, getting the top 5, top 10, or you know, just having
Kenny
a solid
Brady
race.
in the front
So.
from P1 gets really loose, saves the car. Van Drugman gets into the back end of Kenny Brady. Oh no, and almost sends Brady around. Unbelievable job out of Brady there to hold on to that car. Doesn't seem like there's any damage, but man, he has got to be just infuriated right now.
And I did go back and look at that. That actually was netcode. They actually didn't actually touch. Kenny, I mean, does come down a little bit, but yeah, they actually never physically actually touched that.
Oh man,
unfortunately was on netcode.
Wild. Now, could it have been? I keep hearing about this aero grief. Could it have been something like that, or is that just not? Is that not the case here?
No. I mean, I kind of tried it out with a couple other drivers, and I could not aero grief anybody. I think right now that the cars are pretty stuck to the track, so they're just not going to be able to do it. But I mean, only thing I could, like I said, is look back at the replay and say that, you know, they were, you know, 22 was on the bottom, 54 is up high, 54 starts to come down. But again, from my view, they never touched. It was more of a net code. So there's also one, oh, Max Brady hard in the wall coming out of 4. Unfortunately, it look like the Brady brothers are having a rough couple of laps right now. But hey, look, it's not over. It's really early in the game, so you know, you just put your head back down, focus, get back up front, and click off those laps, and you know, hope that you know, everything still works out. I don't see any damage on the 54, so I think he'll be fine. It'll be harder to pass, but I'm pretty sure with his speed, should be able to make a couple moves and probably get back to the front here soon.
I definitely agree. And all that, Trevor Huff gets the lead right here out of that exchange right now, trying to get stage 1 win if he can. Looking very, very good into turn 3. Thurston, though, man, he is right there on the prowl trying to get it done. Van Drugman did have that lead, or would have had the lead, I guess, but got waddled up in that. Kevin King, not too far back either, making this thing work. So, Bowie, too, as this thing gets going, I'm not really seeing a lot of guys making the outside lane work. A couple of guys maybe are. As a lead change here, maybe Thurston down low. Gonna clear him right here. Maybe a crossover move out of Huff.
Watch the.
Great crossover. Van Drugman going to be right there in all this for P1. The next time they cross the line will be the stage win.
And mind you, second, third, and fourth are all teammates, so try not to wreck each other.
Exactly.
But understand that stage points, you know, they do matter. So the reason why you see the 95 and the 96, actually, it's kind of interesting. They're both
not
one
quite
number different, but
not quite a drag race. But Thurston will be the stage 1 winner right there. Trevor Huff P2, Van Drugman 3rd, Kevin King 4th, 5th on back to 10th is unofficial. But again, no cautions. We don't throw yellows anymore for stages, so we just keep this puppy rolling. And Bowie, talk to me about tires. How long do we think tires work right now? Are these guys, I mean, fuel-wise, what are the numbers here?
it was really hard to tell with the fuel. I couldn't really guess, honestly. I guess I would say maybe around the 60 mark, 60 laps or something like that. Should be about as far as they can go. Maybe a little bit less. Tires now that is a whole nother story. Tires are very, very crucial. Thurston, the 96 and Thurston running up on the high side, he is doing nothing but heating continually to heat up that right front. And unfortunately, eventually it's going to overheat, and he's going to have to try and get to the bottom. But again, when you're fighting for the lead, you don't want to give that up, because right now you got the 95 pinned on the bottom, and usually he can't get to the high side, which allows the 96 to get the run. So you got to pick and choose your battles. Do you continue to fight like they are right now and put more heat in your tires, or do you fall back and kind of wait it out like the 22 and the Kevin King are doing right now, the 29? So it's like I said, tires is important, fuel is important as well. I'm pretty sure third and fourth right now are saving both tires and fuel.
I think so. Right now, we're going to Peep the Pain, sponsored by Harpoon Design. Look at this Van Drugman machine right now. 2-time winner. And, man, had to pull up the backup car, unfortunately. Has the just a black paint scheme here. RaceEPI.com. Duct tapes number 22 on the side. I don't know what the hell's going on here, Bowie. But we are obviously... again, vinyl wrap didn't come in. Amazon driver, just the worst. Somebody fumbled the bag here, and we're gonna find out who. I don't know. Make a few phone calls after the race, Bowie, I guess. I don't know what's gonna go on here, but it happens. Pretty funny though. Up front.
Yeah, that was news to me until you brought it to my attention. Like, oh, okay. As we actually officially now have a full pass for the lead, and 96 Thurston gets around, and 95. But hey, the 22 is saying, wait, hold on, it ain't over yet. So it looks like the 22 is definitely making some moves on the 95 to try and more than likely get to the lead officially this time. So, but again, we'll have to see how this goes, because I felt like the 22 was kind of saving his tires a little bit better than the guys he was around, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell right now. And 22 is also running the high line, so we're in an interesting line.
Quick check in the back of the field here, actually about mid-pack right now. A couple of guys making it through the field. Chad Oxendine didn't start all that great, but right now up to P13. A couple of guys here, Mealy and Christian Angel. Bunch of guys, Devin Smecker, all right here. Big shout out, by the way, to a couple of guys here, Anderson and Smecker. A lot of these guys running some breast cancer awareness paint schemes. Both of them right there in the shot, looking very, very good. Always appreciate dripdrops.io on that machine right there, looking pretty, as well as Jackson Anderson in that team associated breast cancer awareness paint scheme. Man, it's definitely a hard month for a lot of people who have experienced that. I know my mom had breast cancer right before COVID and went through all the radiation and treatment and whatnot, and had some surgeries, and man, got through it. Thank God. And man, I know a lot of people aren't as lucky. So just appreciate these guys for showing that awareness and that cause definitely means a lot to us, and I'm sure many others.
I tell you what, though, the 77, the 2, Jackson and Devin, I mean, these guys are racing so hard right now, which also kind of makes me a little concerned. Again, we talked about those tires. You know, how hard are these guys pushing to make passes? Again, it's lap 34, so I'm going to assume that as of right now, starting to kind of think about fuel a little bit. But again, they're pretty far back off of the lead, so they're going to have to, either they're going to have to really pick up the pace and try to get to the front, or do some strategy on fuel or on tires to kind of make up the time that they lost with all the battling they were doing.
Yes, sir. In lap 35 already, so we're getting through this race pretty quickly. Obviously, the sunset will go down about halfway through the race, about an hour into it, so probably by the time stage 2 comes around, which will be at lap 75, will be the end of stage 2. So a little bit ways to go there. Definitely expect some green flag stops, Bowie, before lap 75.
Yeah, I would agree. Question is, you take 4, you're gonna do 2. I honestly think that maybe for the first pit you do 4. But hey, you know, if you need the stage points, or you know you're behind and you want a stage win, why not take 2? I mean, take it early enough and kind of see how it goes, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, you know that for the next time. The only caveat to it is the fact that you're going to be on those tires for a long time if you just take 2. So I'll be kind of curious to see what these drivers decide.
100%. Quick update on back of the pack drivers right now. Blaze Crawford, by the way, didn't cover him earlier on. Apologize for that, but he had to serve a drive-through penalty from a race 2 races ago for a penalty that he had there. So he served it now. And right now, again, unfortunately, no caution flag to come out to get him back on track. Maybe an incident back here with Oxendine? Not quite. Okay, I saw him on our scoring tower kind of bouncing around, so a little worried there. But yeah, Blaze Crawford trying to hold himself on to the lead lap. I believe he's in the lead lap.
Yes, he is currently on. I think so.
All right.
Currently on the lead lap. He's just he's
for
fighting for everything he got to not go a lap down.
Yeah, definitely needs that caution to come out to try and get himself going. Either way, he'll be that lucky dog candidate for a while here if it stays green. So there he is. Austin Halsey in the back as well, looking to hold on to it. Him and Devin Smacker had a moment a second or earlier on, but getting it going. Is he downshifting right there? Hold on, let me take a listen here.
You are downshifting.
Okay, it sounded like it was more of a downshift, like he was in third or something like that. But it was very. It didn't sound natural, I guess is my point. But okay, so he is there right in 20th place. Max Brady hit the wall a couple times, not having a great race so far, but James Kaufman in P18, Kenny Real 17th, and then these guys all back here looking pretty racy. Emilio Villalobos, Devin Schrecker, a lot of guys just holding on to it, and it kind of goes back to a lead change actually right here too, Bowie. Up front again. Man, P1 is just up for grabs right now. It seems like this whole race, Trevor Huff going to make a move here for the lead, and don't look any further. Wyatt Tinsley at 14 spots, looking to get himself in the front of the pack here in P4.
Man, you cannot count out Tinsley. Day in and day out, he has found ways to, make it through the field, no matter what it is. And he's obviously is very, very talented, and his driving abilities is amazing. So, with this being one of the hardest cars to pass with at this point, he's still finding ways to cut through the field and get through the field. So, that just, got to give him props, for being able to do those things. Looks like Thurston kind of smacked the wall coming out of 4, so that's going to kind of drop him a little bit. So he's going to have to regroup and see if maybe we can cool off the tires and maybe make another run at it before they have to pit. But
Fading fast for
yeah.
sure.
You cannot count out Tinsley. If you can't count out the top 5 right now, the top 5 is just in a freaking crazy battle right now.
Very, very close. Right now, Devin Smecker comes first down pit road. Looks like 4 tires so far, potentially. Yes, 4 tires for him. He will be the first to pit. But yeah, right now, I mean, we've mentioned it many times. Wyatt Tinsley is just on a different level. And listen, I mean, the numbers recently, yeah, might not be super impressive, but out of the 20-plus drivers we have, they are all super fast. Yellow flag is out.
Caution.
What went on here? Kenny Reel maybe is the culprit. Yeah, on the front stretch again, it looks like. We saw him earlier on kind of glide through the grass on the front part of the oval, front side of the track. What happens here? Race day replay. Okay. Not a lot of damage to the 11, which is nice, but it seemed like he was hard on the brakes, kind of beginning of the tri-oval, maybe? Let's go back a little bit and see if we can find out what went down here. Let's go to Kenny real fast. Oh, it's the wall buoy. That's what it was. Just kind of offset it. Wasn't able to, or tried to correct it, but overcorrected it way too much.
Only makes it's just the minor mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, that can, and guess what? I'm pretty sure Blaze Crawford right now is thanking the racing gods for a caution, because if he would have had to pit and it was going to be very, very difficult for him to kind of stay out front. So instead of that whole field, because they were breathing down his neck there.
Well, I'll tell you what, right now I think Devin Smecker punching the air in his living room right now. I mean, just absolutely came down pit road. He's going to get the wave around here, I would assume. So, but he, unless he was able to stay on the lead lap, which if he was, that would be a huge moment for Devin Smecker. Okay, no, he's going to get the wave around here potentially. So unfortunate. I know Mealy came down pit road as well, so he might have gotten lucky. It's just tough to say. We'll let it work itself out. Right now is a good time, though, to go and thank some sponsors. We'll come right back, folks, as we are pit stop. First caution of the day. Welcome back, folks. Right now, we are in our first caution of the day. Brandon Bowie finishes up the Choose Car Responsibilities. Look at that thing, man. Awesome. Looking so good. It's been a couple of weeks since we've seen that. Road Course Racing last week didn't have the Choose Car, but again, big thanks, as always, to Harpoon Design. Go and check them out, harpoondesign.com. Get yourself a paint immediately. And, man, look good as always. Right now, lap 47, again, working our first caution of the day for a spin out with Kenny Reel on the front stretch. Hit the wall pretty hard on turn 4 and got that car turned around. So Trevor Huff out front. James Thurston won stage 1 by a nose. And now Trevor Huff in P1, followed by Tinsley, King, Thurston, and Dallaire. Having a good run right now on lap 47. So this kind of changes the game a bit, Bowie, I feel like. Right now, lap 47, about, what is that, 28-ish laps to go until stage 2 ends. So obviously, full of fuel, tires, 4 tires. These guys are going to feel pretty good here now. But here we go, restart of the race. Trevor Huff, Wyatt Tinsley, back-to-back Owl Wash machines. Ooh, rough start for Kevin King on the inside lane. Didn't quite get it going, but he does now. And we are back off lap 48.
Looks like everybody's kind of figuring things out, trying to see where they stand as far as tires and everything. But man, look who has gotten back to the front.
Yes, sir. Right now, just got done with that Bring the Noise segment, sponsored by Harpoon Design. Appreciate, again, them for all they do. Check out Brantley. Probably in the chat right now as well. Say hi, Brantley, so they know where to find you. But great stuff right now, working our first restart of the race. Trevor Huff up front. Thurston, you're right. Getting back to the front of the field here. Looking very, very quick. Definitely has something, I think, for this race to try and win. Looking pretty fast. Wyatt Tinsley in 3rd spot. Can't count him out. But Ethan Dallaire, I'm looking at him in P4, and man, he has just gotten better and better, I feel like, this season. Really, since he started. Last season, he started the season with us. Didn't really know the sim as much, maybe, but looking racy for sure. And back behind him, Kevin King. Christian Angel, again, right there, is filling in for Frankie Barroso. Getting to the front. And this might be a play, Bowie, you know, as far as strategy, right? Does it kind of make sense to race crazy hard right now to give yourself track position? Because, hey, you know, once the nighttime comes and the lights come on, it's going to be so much tougher to pass.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, if I don't know exactly when the sun will go difficult to pass, so, but you know what? That's when all the strategies come in play. That's when you'll start seeing drivers really probably start to take 2 tires. You might see people kind of pit early to kind of split it up, to kind of maybe get a better advantage, to kind of stay in front of people. You know, there's a ton of options and a ton of things that can be done. It's just a matter of, you know, when the cautions fall, and hopefully a caution doesn't fall again in you know, when we're starting, you know, drivers that need to pit. So it just all depends. But like you said, the stage is also in play as well. So it's going to definitely be interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely. And a quick update, too, on a couple of drivers we mentioned came down pit road before the yellow flag came out. So we had Devin Smecker, Joseph Mealy came down right before the caution came, and they are still mired back in traffic, unfortunately. Max Brady, James Kaufman, Kenny Reel as well, the one who was involved in that. That would have been a drive-through for him. So he might be a lap down right now, unfortunately, for causing that caution. But a couple of more guys as well. Drugman back in 13th, but we had apparently an issue maybe on that pit road segment.
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody say something about maybe there was an issue with the 22, but I wasn't able to see because I was in the choose car. But thankfully for iRacing's ability to kind of go back on replays, I will look back and see if we can figure out what happened.
All right.
Keep focused.
So right now, sun is still up, but definitely approaching nighttime here pretty soon. Lap 56. Trevor Huff in P1 right now. James Thurston 2nd place. Wyatt Tinsley in 3rd. Dallaire and King round out the top 5.
And to give you a quick update, speeding on pit road will ding you every time. 22.
Under yellow though, really?
Yep. I don't know if it was on entry or exit. I didn't look that much into it, but I definitely noticed that he came out of pit road probably about 4th, 5th, and then he let all the cars go. So
Oh, man.
I'm going to assume that it was on entry, maybe, and he wasn't paying attention, and got caught. So unfortunately, the NASCAR police were on it as usual, and he's going to have to take his time and work his way back up. But man,
Yes,
he's going to have to do it pretty quickly.
Definitely a Denny Hamlin type move, you know? Pit
Yes,
road
it is.
infractions just bite you. And that's unfortunate. But man, right now we're watching Chad Oxendine looking pretty good right here on the inside of Salyers. This is for P11. Trying to squeak into that top 10 if he can, and looking like he can make his way there. And Chad Oxendine, again, kind of one of those guys who you just always find him in the front of the pack at some point later in these races. Right now he's doing that. 15 laps away from stage 2. Go ahead, Bowie.
And I'm sorry, I was going to say, I just watched the 19 clobber the wall coming out of 2, was tight with another vehicle. Not sure who that vehicle was, but yeah, I mean, that was a pretty hard hit. I am very surprised he doesn't have a broken toe link, but hey, he's still fighting on. He's falling back a little bit, but you know, I mean, it just tells you how strong these cars are. I mean, look, if we were in the old generation of car, that car would have been killed. You know, let's just be completely honest.
You're right.
But
yeah,
you know, these composite bodies of cars, man, they definitely take a hit. So he's pretty lucky to not have any bent toe link or any damage to the right front tire, and he's still going on. So it's keep it out the wall.
pretty much.
Only suggestion I can give: keep it off the wall.
Right now, Kenny Riel about to be swallowed up here potentially from Trevor Huff, trying to get his way through. Also, by the way, I wanted to mention as well, Blaze Crawford up now to P11. He had that initial drive-through for a penalty from a prior race, but he's up to P11. Our resident Coke Series driver just finished the season there. Sounded like he had a fun time, so hopefully he... I'm not sure of the process. I think they are changing it for next season, maybe. I thought I read something, but hopefully he's back there potentially again if he wants to be, but always good to have him back. So here he is, working his way, trying to get into that top 10. A couple of drivers back here too. Smecker, Halsey, still side by side. They had some history earlier on in stage 1. Hopefully everything is resolved on their part now, but up front, Trevor Huff, man, he is just on a mission today. Has not won a race yet, but he has come very, very close. He's been kind of in that pool, Bowie, of drivers like I kept mentioning, right, who I think can win. It's just a matter of that perfect race. You know, I kind of put him in that category, Cutlip, Oxendine, and today so far looks to be his race.
Yeah, you know, it's good, right? You know, we've watched Tinsley dominate these races. And, you know, sometimes, and you know, people don't like to really hear it, but sometimes domination is good in a sport. Sometimes getting your butt whipped a couple times is enough to motivate you to, hey, you know what, I've got to change. I've got to figure some things out because, you know, Tinsley, if I remember correctly, he won 5 races in a row, something like that. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I guess we'll compare it to NASCAR and Xfinity. You know, back in the day when you used to have Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, Greg Biffle, Mark Martin, Dale Jr., you used to have all these Brad Keselowski, all these fast cup drivers would come down and race with the Xfinity drivers, but it would make them better. Would they lose a lot of races? Yes. The cup drivers would take a lot of wins. But you as a driver and Xfinity driver can compare yourself to how you stack up against those drivers. And I feel like that's how a Tinsley is, and that's how a Kevin King is, and a Kenny Brady. Those guys are fast, and they could win any race that you put them into. So you have to race with them to understand what they're doing and how they're doing things, whether that's strategy wise, whether that's racing etiquette, whatever it is, in order to be on their level. And right now, I think it's great that we have them in the series. Yes, are they, dominating the races? Yes, pretty much. But hey, I am seeing some drivers that, have actually picked it up and actually are running better than they did from previous seasons. So I'm all for it.
I definitely agree. And right now I'm looking at Ethan Dallaire right now sitting P5, looking to get to the front. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of these guys who are pretty fast today, right? Dallaire looks like, Kevin King, Tinsley, but they just can't catch, it looks like, Thurston and Huff. I mean, that dirty air, I'm sure, Bowie, is definitely not fun, right? And as this race goes on, we're quickly approaching the end of stage 2 here. And man, that can be a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean the dirty air is just so crazy now in this car compared to just previous seasons. But you gotta also understand as well, this is what iRacing is. iRacing is a simulator. It's not a video game like most people want to kind of consider it. Oh, it's a video game. No, this is more of a simulator where they're going to try their best to simulate exactly the type of racing in real life and try to bring it to a simulator near you. That's what we're doing. So yes, the cars are hard to drive. It's hard to pass. These are all the same things that the real NASCAR drivers are dealing with right now. The Xfinity car is more on the loose side. That's very similar to what they're doing. The trucks feel like slot machines. That's pretty much what I've heard from the truck series. So again, it's as hard as it is to drive these cars, and each vehicle it's very unique and has its own pros and cons to it. Hey, that's the hand that's been dealt, and we just gotta figure it out and figure out how to make passes and figure out how to aero block like the 83 just did on his teammate the 12.
Oh yeah.
And just gotta figure it out, and once they figure it out, then it's not as bad. But for the probably for the foreseeable future, until NASCAR makes another adjustment, like they're going to be adding horsepower. I think maybe you'll see a little bit of changes here on iRacing with that, but I don't know if it's going to make that huge of a difference. So you just got to learn to adapt and just got to figure it out.
Agreed. Right now we're about a lap and a half away from the end of stage 2. Trevor Huff currently in P1. Stage 1 winner James Thurston trying to get around him if he can to steal another stage, but Huff is looking very quick. Next time by will be the end of it. 95 and 96 machine looking very, very fast today. Wyatt Tinsley starting to catch the back end of that Thurston Cardano machine, but it looks like it's not going to be enough.
Looks like we got Tinsley starting to move up a little bit. Move up a half a lane from where Thurston was running. That's gonna allow him to pounce on Thurston. So if I'm Thurston, I am probably just gonna let him go, and I'm gonna try and protect my tires. That's the end of the stage anyway. All right, protect the tire. Maybe save a little bit of fuel. Hopefully save a little bit of tires as well. Hey. Maybe they kind of, get together up front, leapfrog them, get back up front. So it's, hey, this is when the strategy starts to come into play.
See, that makes a lot of sense too, right? I mean, the stage is done. You got your points. Next stage won't end until lap 125. So you're about 50 laps away from that. Oh, as Thurston hits the wall again. Trying to stick around in that top pack. Little Lancy on the wheel right there, and man, tough. Got to be really careful, but yeah, I mean, to your point, I think it's a good time to just kind of sit back and chill now. Save some tires, some fuel too, perhaps. Man, they are all over each other.
Yeah, and again, this is we talked about the dirty air. It is hard, to.
Oh, Ethan Dallaire goes around right here in the backstretch.
Oh no.
into the inside wall, as well as Oxendine too. And that's going to be our second caution of the day. Maybe even one more here in the back. Looks like that's going to be, is that Halsey or Zelazny? No, that's going to be Christian Angel in the back. Don't see any damage maybe to that 48. Maybe just a tooch right there on the right front side. But man, I think it was Dallaire just came across the nose of somebody maybe, but maybe it wasn't on purpose, obviously, but accidental. Let's go back and take a look at what happened here. Second caution of the day. Oh, yeah, look at that left side of the screen. Dallaire was 3 wide there on the outside. Anderson kind of just was there in the middle. Dallaire, Oxendine. Angel just kind of goes right, oh man, right into Drugmund. And just a big, big mess right there. So let's go back a little bit more. I want to kind of find out when exactly it happened, get a better angle of it. Here we go. Let's try and see.
It looks like I'm hearing the 77 and the 83 might have damage as well. I'm not sure because I didn't see it, but
yeah, we're looking at it on the replay, and it definitely looks like it's going to be close. I'll try and rewind it one more time for us. Get that chopper view. Yeah, you can see it. I mean, Anderson just tags him right there in the left rear. They weren't quite 3 wide yet. Anderson probably could have done a better job checking up to get him in line, but hard call, I feel like, for race control.
Race control deemed that was on the 83, just FYI.
All right. Yeah, definitely the right call, at least from what the angles that we've seen on. Unfortunate. They weren't quite 3 wide, but this is going to send everybody down pit road right now on lap 79, almost 80 right here. And there they go. So everyone through it. Stage 2 just finished a little while ago, a couple laps ago, and right now Tinsley going to be out front, it looks like. Lights just about to be on the track. Sunset is already kind of going beyond the trees, it looks like, so we are about to be in nighttime mode here pretty soon. Second round of drivers on pit road as well. Taking a look at Van Drugmund here, Zelazny, Villalobos, Brady, Dallaire. A bunch of guys just fixing some damage, I would assume, and getting themselves back into shape here. But right now, Wyatt Tinsley up front. Choose car action underway. Everyone making their choice. Inside lane, outside lane. We've only seen this thing twice today, so definitely a lot of green flag racing today. We love to see that. Always a fun time. Different strategies involved and things like that. So there's the choose car underway. Pace lights already off. You're going to go back green here pretty soon.
Just an update as well, really quickly. I was able to figure out that they can go probably about between 55 65 laps of fuel. That's about how far they can go.
All right. Fuel. So they can definitely go until the lap 125 stage end. So assuming this thing stays green, I wouldn't expect them to come down until then. But maybe just past that, come down and pit, and they have enough fuel for that as well for the end of the race. So
yeah,
looks like one more green flag stop would be underway, assuming we get the green flag action. But hey, only our second caution of the day. Definitely some fantastic racing so far. Nighttime though about to hit. We will see.
I think honestly, this is where you're going to see their aggressive racing now, because now it is even harder to pass. The track is going to start to cool down. Man, it's put your belts tight.
100%.
It's about to get ready.
The Wise Owl Wash side-by-side duo of Trevor Huff and Wyatt Tinsley up front. Green flag is out. Outside lane did not get going here. Trevor Huff just completely fumbled the bag and not going to get a great jump. That's going to give Kevin King a great jump here for P2.
And the number 5 of Cutlip, I'm not sure if he spun the tires on the start or what, but man, that's harsh. Yep, he self-spun. Wow.
Jackson Anderson comes down pit road, just flies through pit road right here. Uh-oh. Not sure what's going on with that. I mean, he took drive-through too literal, I think. Gonna come down pit road. He's in his box now. Has a hold penalty.
Well, you got a hold penalty, and now you got a speeding penalty as well. Good Lord.
That is tough.
Yeah,
I can understand the frustration. I'm sure there's frustration there. Does not want to serve a drive-through penalty this or almost halfway into this race, right? But hey, listen, you caused the caution. Don't know what else to say. Unfortunate for him.
He entered pit road, just FYI, at 73 miles an hour. So
perfect.
That is definitely a speeding on that.
Well, and here's the thing too. I don't know how race control is gonna look at this, but he didn't complete his drive-through because he had to stop for his hold. So, I mean, if I'm race control, I mean, do you have him come back and drive through again? I don't know. That's an interesting call. But right now up front, Wyatt Tinsley under fire here from Kevin King. 2 juggernauts of the iRacing community. Look at these guys looking at it. Excuse me, Kevin King and Trevor Huff. Those Wise Owl machines throwing me off. Purple cars. But Kevin King looking to get it done right now on the outside lane. And I think Kevin King probably out of anybody knows, hey, the time to go is now. It's lap 85. We're basically at halfway right now, and we got to go.
I just want to also note as well, unfortunately, the 4, Trevor also self-spun coming out of 4, did a self-spin by himself, and unfortunately he also is far back there now, so he's got a lot of work to do to try and get back to the
but no caution, it sounds like. Actually, we might have a replay. Let's take a look at this real quick. Is Zelazny off track? Let's try and just play it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just kind of through the grass. Luckily that pit road wall is right there. Not going to get a penalty from that, but yeah, way off track obviously, so no yellow flag. That's a bummer for sure, but hey, that's what can happen.
My goodness. Wow, okay.
Talk to me, what happened?
77. Sorry, I'm trying to get my words together. The 77 with the lap car, and Kevin King used him as a pick. Let's just call it what it was, and was able to pinch the 95 down there and able to get a pass on the 95. So Kevin King squeaks to P2, and he's going to try and see if he can walk down Mr. Wyatt Tinsley.
Hey, that's a smart move, right? It's probably, I don't know where that is on the dirty racing scale, but I kind of like that, you know, because listen, super speedway racing, if you're side by side, lap car down low, you bet your ass I'm pinching down that low line to be blocked by the lap down traffic. Now that might cause a wreck because that genius on the inside lane might try and, you know, somehow squeeze into 3 wide, but it's definitely a play. And when you've been around the block long enough, as Kevin King has, you get to pull all the tools out of the bag.
Oh, absolutely. Again, we talked about how hard it is to pass. So, you know, you're going to use anything and everything you're you know, that's in your bag of tools, right? So, hey, it's fair game because you're gonna have to pass him again. You'll pass the 77 again anyway. So, hey, who's to say that, you know, you know, the 95 won't be able to do that to somebody else. So it is what it is. It's the 4. Sorry, I can't even talk. The 54. Brady is doing everything now to try and pass the 95, and now the 12 of Crawford is also in there as well. So it looks like race is definitely starting to heat up.
Just sends it.
Goodness. Oh, they're on the same team. That's not good.
Crawford gonna say, okay, boys, well, we'll see you. I'm gonna pass both of you, as Kenny just absolutely sends it on Trevor Huff. But that, I mean, that's what it takes, right? Unfortunately, this dirty air and how you have to pass and whatnot. I mean, this is just the game we got to play.
Yeah, I mean, that was I did not expect that. That's a little rough. You know, especially as that is a corporate teammate, if you want to say. Again, those are the things that you don't want in the playoffs. You do not want to create an enemy.
Yes.
It's too early for that. It's so easy for somebody to get mad. I'm not promoting it or anything, but we've seen it. How easy would it be for the 95 to just be like, oops, I got into the 54 and put him in the wall and ruined his race. You know, so it's just, it doesn't make sense to just create enemies. It's just, I don't know.
I feel like after watching that move right there, listen, we're close to Halloween. I feel like Kenny Brady is that guy who, like, the homeowner puts out a big bowl of, like, candy and they're like, oh, please take one, little sign. And Kenny just dumps the whole damn thing into his pillowcase and says, F y'all. I feel like that's what we're looking at out of Kenny Brady.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I would agree to that. I mean, Kenny is definitely a fast driver. And at times he has been a little aggressive, and and I was trying to listen to them a little bit on the radio, kind of talk about the move, and you know, obviously Kenny didn't like something. As Kenny Brio is now on the front stretch going through the grass again.
Third time, Kenny. Lock it in, buddy.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have a different philosophy when it comes to racing teammates. I don't want to put them in a situation. We're not at a point now where it's like 10-15 to go. I gotta do things. Like, it again, my mindset, I'm more than likely quite a bit older than the majority of these people, so I've been on iRacing for a very, very long time. And back in the day, you did something like that, you got dumped the next corner.
Oh,
that's just how it was. So now things are just a little bit differently. And like I said, with the teammate on teammate, it's a little bit of a questionable. But hey, I haven't heard anything else on the radio, so must be all good from now on.
Yes, sir. Just tough racing, obviously, and hey, it's definitely fun to watch. As right now, Christian Angel looking to try and get around Ethan Delaire right here. And yeah, a second ago, we did see Kenny Real fly through the front stretch grass again for the third time. That might be some kind of achievement that I don't know about. Oh, side by side, Delaire and Angel. Max Brady, maybe three. Oh, Oxidine kind of rejoining in an awkward way there. Man, that car's pretty well beat up too, unfortunately. Going to try and keep it going. Points-wise, he is in great shape for the playoffs, so doesn't really need today's race to have any hope for the playoffs, but man, definitely want to have a good, clean one. But a lot of guys racing aggressive, but to your point, hey, right now the track is way cooler, much harder to pass. Got to make these moves now, and lap 97, we're going to end this race pretty quick. Only 2 cautions in a lot of green flag racing. You just got to know how to manage.
Yeah, and I also want to mention something. I just noticed you were talking about the points. I just noticed that Van Drongman has left the race. He was P14.
Yeah, that's tough.
In the standings, and now there are a couple people that are not here. Michael Johnson is not here tonight, and Tyler Lateral I don't think is here either. So
no,
there were 2 people who were right behind him. So. The next person would have been Max Brady in P17, so he might be okay.
Keep in mind, Van Drongman is locked in because he has 2 wins. Winning you're is in this season.
True.
So he is good to go. But to your point, yeah, he's not going to benefit from any playoff points potentially or things like that. All the while, Trevor Zalazny, I feel like just pulled a Ross Chastain there in turns 3 and 4 for a second. Just rode the wall completely. Definitely wild for sure, but Oxendine going to pull it into pit road. This may be the end for him. Maybe an early pit stop. Don't quite know yet. Either way, unfortunately. Some tires. Okay, so not going to give up just yet. Good for Chad. Up front, though, Wyatt Tinsley still out in front. And, hey, once he's out in front, that's bad news bears for potentially the field. But Kevin King is there. Who can outmanage each other? Tires, fuel, have a long way to go still. 2 different stage winners. Trevor Huff, James Thurston. It's just a matter of kind of getting through it. By the way, you mentioned Drugman's out of the race essentially. I'm looking at James Thurston right now, down in P14. Something's going on with that 96 Cardano machine. Not quite sure why he's back there as well, but tough break either way.
Well, he did. I remember we talked about it. He did hit the wall again.
Okay.
And I'm thinking he had more than likely just has damage, and he is, unfortunately on the struggle bus right now. So
yeah,
it's gonna be. I mean, he's in P2. A little tight race between Trevor and Austin there. But he's sitting P2. He's just another one that's just like, yeah, it kind of is gonna hurt. He did have 2 good stages. He's gonna need a caution to probably be able to get his damage fixed, or probably just reset and really have a good stage 3. But for him, it's one of those things where it sucks to be in the situation that you're in, but you're also locked in, so it's kind of not the end of the world. Where
Agreed.
Some of these other drivers who would love to get a win, beat Tinsley, or Kevin King, or Crawford, who all 3 of them have wins already. No, wait, sorry, Blaze. Did he win? He did win. I'm sorry.
Blaze did win, but here's the thing. I don't know off the top of my hand, attendance-wise, if he is eligible for the playoffs. So that is one thing we have to look out for. Drivers can miss 4 races. They cannot miss 5 in the entire season. So we'll have to look at that. I believe, though, he might be okay, but we will verify that post-race. For now, though, we'll just call him into the playoffs. But yeah, right now, Wyatt Tinsley up in front. Kevin King definitely closing in on to that number 20 machine as we have hit lap 104. So lap 125 will end stage 3. Oh my God, who is that down there? Anderson got real loose into the grass. Going to go around here.
No caution yet.
No caution. He just alt F4s, I believe. No, jumps to pit road. And didn't have to go far. His pit road was right there. Has to tow again. Frustrating night for him. Had a cause to caution for our second caution of the day. And I had that drive-through, sped down pit road, just kind of folded pretty hard, unfortunately. And that can happen. Frustrating night for the 83. But, again, quick update. Wyatt Tinsley up front. Kevin King in P2. Trying to get to him. Blaze Crawford, 3rd spot. Kenny Brady in P4. Trevor Huff in P5.
Great battle right now between the 45 and the 2. I know we don't give them enough praise and enough shout outs, so giving the shout outs to both of them right now, racing hard, but putting on a good show.
Yeah, these guys, I feel like, as of late, really this season, have been kind of standout in the sense of, like, they might always be in that mid-pack, conversation, but they just always race pretty hard. And, sometimes, a lot of the times, the best racing can happen in the back or middle of the field. A lot of dirty air, absolutely. a lot of different, strategies. Maybe someone's getting through the field, or maybe someone's falling back, but always some hard racing back there. So Anderson on pit road, Oxendine on pit road as well. Looks like that might be the end of his race, unfortunately. A couple of guys, again, out at this point. Kenny Reel, right now, 8 seconds down. Zelazny 1 lap down, it looks like, as well. So a couple of guys off the lead lap, trying to get this race through, and about 20 drivers, 18 actually, on the lead lap. Lap 108, the battle we're watching is up in P1. Wyatt Tinsley, Kevin King right there. Kevin King, I feel like, is just sending it into corner entry. Take a ride on board real quick, Kevin King. Get a feel for what he's doing here to try and catch Wyatt Tinsley. Very minimal wheel input out of Kevin King, Bowie. Is that the success to hold, to save tires? Minimal wheel input.
To be honest with you, I wish I knew. I don't have a clue. Kevin King, I've known Kevin for so long, and man, just even when we ran the Coke Series together, he was fast, and we didn't necessarily come in at the same time. We were on 2 completely different teams, and I'm not saying anybody's team was stronger or anything like that, but he just had honestly, he just has raw talent. Um, and he's not a young chicken. I mean, he's definitely on the older side, and he can still go out there and perform and hang with Tinsley, and it it's crazy. It just blows my mind that he can get into a car and run as fast as he does. And I've tried some of his settings and stuff like that. I can't drive it. He drives very unique. But I mean, like I said, he reminds me of a younger version of the way Tinsley drives, or Crawford at times, or a Kenny Brady. Like I think the difference is with Kevin, he has so much knowledge because he's been here since iRacing started. So he's one of those type of drivers that understands what he needs to do, understands what the car is doing. Ooh, Kenny Brady smacked the crap out of that wall coming out of fork. He's just a very talented driver, along with a lot of these other drivers in here. So I'll tell you what, he's a heck of a lot. They are all a heck of a lot more talented than me. That's why I took myself out of this car, because I didn't want to. Hate to say it, I didn't want that season where you go from being competitive to just washed. So I took the high road.
Yeah, as the kids say, you're just completely cooked, and that's all right.
Yes, that's fine. I will accept that.
It happens, but you know what? You're a 2-time ASRA champion, so at the end of the day, you got the job done. The job done twice. You can't be upset about that. Right now, big battle here for about what is this? About mid top 10 right here. I got to say, a driver who I'm looking at right now is Devin Smecker, up P5 right now, up 16 spots. We saw him on the bad end of that green flag stops, or that first caution actually, when he came down pit road before. And right now, I don't know what the hell he found, but he is flying in P5 right now.
Yeah, he's not as yes, he is flying for the group that he is around. Yes, he's definitely one of the faster. Wyatt Tinsley and Kevin King are freaking running 2s, and everybody else is running 4s or slower. And it's like, how are they finding 2/10 on average a lap faster than the rest of the field? That is just mind-boggling to me. But hey, I mean, like I said, they understand some things that I could never understand with these cars, and a lot of just in iRacing in general. So kudos to them. But hey, don't count out Trevor Huff and Kenny Brady and Smecker. Don't count those guys out. They are giving it their all to try and make up time in those two.
Yes, sir. Salyos just hit the wall again, actually, in turn 4. Christian Angel going to try and get to him right now in the inside lane. Looks like that'll get done. So that'll put Angel up to P6. He is really looking pretty good today as well, subbing in for Frankie Barroso.
Hopefully no more teammate on teammate crime. Let's all have a nice kumbaya. Okay?
That is true. He was involved in that caution. Oh my lord, Salyers just pounded it. Same spot that Kenny Real hit when he got turned around, but man, Salyers is just a mess right now. But gotta hold on to it. He's P7. A great finish today is on the table. Just gotta keep that car off the wall.
And keep in mind the way how these cars are now. If you hit the wall, maybe the first time it doesn't break, but over time, it's going to break. So you have to be mindful on how many times you're actually hitting the wall. And again, as I look back at that hit, it's because he was in dirty air and he was right behind the 48. And when you have those situations, you have to get out of the wake of the car in front of you, or you just got to lift. And it just looks like he was maybe trying to stick with him, and it just plowed and it hit the wall pretty hard. So, but hey, like I said earlier, the way how these cars are, he's still kicking. I am very surprised he did not break a toe link, but I said the exact same thing earlier this race. So I don't know what kind of car he has, but I need that car for the rest of the season.
Looking pretty strong right now. Lap 120. So again, we're 5 laps away from the stage 3 end. There are 3 stage breaks in this race because it is a crown jewel event, one of our 4 this season. Looking forward to next week. Again, this is today the regular season finale right now. So these drivers trying to get maximum points today to lock themselves into that top 12 for the championship 16. Next week, the wildcard race from Homestead will be a lot of fun. A very popular track for a lot of guys. And man, a lot of fun going to be had there. The top 12 for the championship kind of go with a bit of like an in-season tournament, how we've been doing those, but it's an in-race tournament. So every stage break, the 4 get eliminated from that 12. So going to be pretty fun. Can't wait for that. But also the 13th through 20th drivers and points go for the top 4 to finish off that top 16 of the playoff drivers. So going to be a lot of fun. Wild card race, again, something different, something pretty cool, and last year was a lot of fun as well. So that'll be next week, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then our 6 race playoffs begin shortly after that. So cannot wait, as right now Tinsley up front was pretty close at one point, Bowie, but a 2/10 lead. Now it's fallen back down to about 9/10, but a second behind is Kevin King. So Tinsley just able to find a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that has a lot of you. You had mentioned it earlier how hard Kevin King seemed like he was just sending it into the corner, and I think because again Kevin knew that, hey, I've got to try and make a pass, because if I don't, then the tire's just gonna be gone. And I think that's where where he's at now. It's like, okay, well, I tried, tires are pretty much destroyed, so I'm just gonna do my best to kind of just hang on and try not to lose as much time. So I'll be curious if, and I think this is probably stage in right here, or coming to it.
It is right here. Yep, that's it right there. Wyatt Tinsley, stage 3 winner.
Yeah. So now, hey, if I'm Kevin, do I say, all right, I'm coming down pit road right now? Because with 100 and you got a 50 lap run now, you can make it. Are you going to come down and are you going to try to run it out now and then come down and take 2? Nope, never mind. Sound like people are starting to pit now. Austin Hall's the first one.
I think the undercut is a great move if we can get it. But again, do you think that we're going to have a green flag run the rest of the way, or do we get a caution? I think that's going to be playing in people's minds right now. What happens?
I think we're going to stay green. I honestly think we will stay green now. I don't see a lot of, again, I've seen crazier stuff, people spinning off pit road and, making mistakes on cold tires. So, you never know what could happen, but I see it staying green, honestly.
Well then here's the thing. If you're Kevin King, you have to undercut. You have to be able to be out in front of Tinsley, get the clean air, and hold him off and defend. There's no other way I feel like you can do it. Maybe on speed, maybe on a long run, but I feel like at this point you have to undercut to get yourself in position on track to Wyatt Tinsley. I mean, at this point, I don't know when that is. I don't know when you make that move, but definitely tough. You have to kind of gauge when Tinsley's going to pit, versus yourself. Trevor Huff actually, P3, going to come down pit road now. See, I like this move. I think if you're a Kevin King, but Huff just doing this too, I would come as soon as you can, because right now this is, we're within 50 laps. You've got the fuel. You've got probably enough fuel even for some overtimes if that were to happen. It's tough. It's tough to do.
I tell you what, Kevin King has made up a ton of time on Tinsley on entering pit road. So,
but see,
now it's going to be who gets off pit road better.
Yeah, but see, I feel like Kevin King should have come down pit road the second he could have after the stage. He would have probably gained maybe a second, maybe, I don't know, definitely some time. Would have gotten two laps on fresh tires to Wyatt. We'll see. Who takes 2 tires here, though, Bowie? Does anybody?
I'm looking. I have not seen anybody take 2 tires yet. Kevin, tight battle coming out of pit road too. So, yeah, I agree with you. I would have thought Kevin would have tried to come down a lap earlier. Maybe he obviously knows something that we don't know. As you can see Thurston going by, both of them right there. So it looks like Thurston is actually will
Takes the lead over.
leapfrog him. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be happy about that. Let me just make sure. Actually, no, I'm sorry, he has not pitted yet.
All right.
Thurston is still out there.
Devin Sparker comes down pit road now too, so he's gonna get past here. But yeah, see, I mean, Wyatt Tinsley gonna be out in front here. Kevin King gonna try and be aggressive here, but I think maybe, try and match Wyatt on speed at least. But I don't know. I just think not undercutting Tinsley there is gonna it's not gonna be what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, unless he saw something, maybe Tinsley was doing, and he was like, okay, maybe I need to try something a little bit different. I don't know. Maybe he backs off and actually saves a little bit of tires, and then kind of goes in for the attack later in the run instead of the beginning of the run.
Right.
But I don't know. I would love to be able to kind of just ring Kevin real quick and be like, hey, so what was your thoughts on that? But again, I don't think anybody has taken 2 yet. I am shocked that nobody at this point, especially people in the back,
just for the hell of it,
mid-pack on,
right?
Just like, okay, you know what? I'll just go for it. Again, I don't know how their tires are on the lefts, and maybe the lefts are too worn. But man, like I would have tried. Because if I'm in the back, what is 4 going to do? 4's not going to do anything for me.
Yeah.
It's going to put me back in the same position I was. So at that point, I have to do something.
And here's the thing. I mean, take 2 tires. If it doesn't work, then okay. Then whatever. But take 2 tires, get the track position perhaps. Maybe a yellow flag comes out, everyone else comes down pit road. You've net gained positive some positions. It's tough to say, but you can't just lay over. I feel like if you're 5th on back or something, and taking the 4 tires, you just have to take the shot, take the risk. But again, it also depends on your playoff circumstance.
Yeah.
If you have the points to give, I mean, why not? But I mean, right now we're looking at Wyatt Tinsley out in front, Kevin King a second back. This is the same gap they had before the pit stops. So I mean, it's like, what did we really do here? Kevin King, in my mind, didn't really take any risk. So does that pay off in the end? We're about to find out in about 40 laps.
Yeah, and again, like I said, maybe he knows something that we don't know. Maybe the tires, like I said, are so worn that 2 tires just didn't make sense.
True.
Again, I don't know, because I unfortunately didn't get to run a full fuel run, but
even undercutting, right? Even undercutting
Yeah.
by a lap or 2. Now, maybe if Kevin King comes down, right as the stage ends, Wyatt probably comes in the lap after, right? But maybe that 1 lap is enough for Kevin to just gain that time. I don't know what that looks like, but it's tough to say. As right now, P4, 5, 6 all racing each other. Angel, Dallaire, and right behind Salyers and Brady, all looking to get into the top 5 here. Great points day for a lot of these boys.
Yeah, it looks like a 5-car battle between Christian Angel, who we got? Austin Sawyers, the 1, the 28, the 99. It's just like a little mini pack, but it's Jesus, all 3 of them hit the wall.
But, and I gotta, go ahead, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say these guys are. You can definitely tell they're kind of pushing it just a little bit harder than they did the last one.
So the one thing I was gonna say is kind of going back to that potentially controversial moment where we said, you know what, okay, the first part of the season was kind of rough. We're gonna change the rules a little bit, and we're gonna get rid of the stage yellows like we had for last season 8. I gotta say, the racing has been a lot better as far as like lack of cautions, very minimal cautions, great racing, within the limits of the car, right? I feel like, obviously the car is tough, it's hard to pass, but given the circumstance and given, the level of talent on track, it's been good racing. A lot of the guys maybe didn't like Indy or things like that where it was just impossible to pass, but for the most part, I feel like this has produced what I've wanted to see. Long green flag runs, minimal cautions, and good racing, considering how lackluster the car might be.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was the goal at the beginning of the season, and like you said, it was a little bit of a struggle. But we also had a ton of new people, and there were changes that had just happened to the car. So I think it took a little bit for some of the drivers to kind of figure out like what exactly changed, why did it change, and when that happened, and you mix that with, fresh people or people who were new to iRacing, it's just a lot of things going on. So, this is unfortunate that we did lose, quite a bit of drivers who decided not to come back, and that's, in my opinion, that's fair. If you're not having a good time, you're not enjoying yourself, then it's probably best to find something else to do, or find another series, or whatever that is. But yes, I mean, the rule change has definitely provided long green flag runs, more strategy, more, I wouldn't say more strategies, because you can kind of get that with the stage cautions as well, but I feel like we've had definitely some good racing. I don't feel like there's been any drivers that have kind of like just ran away with it, minus maybe Van last week at the road course.
Yes.
I don't remember how big of a lead that was. That was a huge lead. So I just kind of feel like, there was, for the most part, it's been good racing. Ever since, what was that, Darlington, I think, is when we kind of started to turn the ship around. So, it's a process, right? And, again, a lot of new things, a lot of new people, new drivers trying to learn each other. So, it's just a lot of stuff going on as I continue to watch this 5-car battle.
It's awesome.
And these guys are just throwing it everything they got. So, I love to see it, though.
And the thing is, too, for me, I feel like if we saw this kind of racing from the drop of the green flag at Talladega to start the season, right, I feel like this would be on fire. I feel like people would be, a lot of people would still be here, racing for it, just doing what they can, because I personally feel like nothing kills a series more than bad racing, right? You can have a great broadcast, you can have a great format, great admins, great everything, but if the racing sucks, you're going to suffer. That's just how it is. So, and in a case like this, we're seeing what we have wanted to see for a long time, and it's nice to see. It puts me in the mindset of like, man, I'm curious to know how the season would look now if the season started like what we've been seeing now, But it's also encouraging because it's you just don't know. I mean, 23 drivers isn't a great field in my perspective, but I'd like to see 30 plus on average would be, I feel like, appropriate and a great amount. But I mean, today it kind of proves we can still have a great race with minimal drivers, which is nice. So a lot of people prefer that kind of 20 to 30 drivers with good racing versus 40 with bad racing. So it's all about perspective, I guess, but hey, this is, either way, been a lot of fun, this race, and exactly what we want to see.
Absolutely, and I wasn't gonna cut you off. I think there was a glitch.
Glitch?
Yeah, the 20 is P3.
What the hell?
But it's not on your side. He said he blinked for half a lap. So
oh no.
It put him third, but he's still in front of Kevin King and Trevor Huff. I don't know.
Not on my scoring board shows that he is third spot, 4.2 seconds back.
Exactly. And it shows that Kevin is 4 seconds ahead of him, and Trevor is 2.
Kevin King is being shown P1, Trevor Huff 2, and Wyatt Tinsley P3. So, wow.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That's a bummer.
He I guess he lagged, and I still don't, and to me, honestly, I've still never understood how this works, but I guess he lagged, and when you lag, it stops you where you are, and when you come back,
right,
it basically picks up where they think it thinks you are or would be. So basically, you lost all that time.
Man,
so
that
now Kevin
sucks.
King has inherited the lead, and Trevor Huff has picked up a spot as well. And
It's a huge break for Kevin King. I'll put it that way. That is unreal.
Absolutely.
I do have a marker here where it at least claims my scoring system here, where Kevin King passed Wyatt Tinsley. Let's see if I can maybe click on this and see if it does anything. It shows us anything. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it just shows Kevin King kind of just driving around, so it doesn't really show Wyatt. Yeah, he's already kind of back there, so yeah, very, very odd. It doesn't really, yeah, on the replay, it don't see anything, but because typically if somebody blinks out, like we've seen before, they kind of blink out, they stay in their spot, and it's you know, whatever. But in this case, I guess, yeah, he lagged, so I guess he just lost that time. I don't think I've seen that.
Never seen it. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some things where like people would lag and they're still driving. Like for example, say you're like pacing or whatever under caution, somebody lags.
Yeah.
And they don't see it, like everybody else disappears, but they just start driving, and then and the people who didn't lag, you're driving through their cars. You're literally wrecking them all over the place. For them who lagged, they don't see anything, so they have no idea what's going on. So
yeah, that is so weird. I feel like anytime that I've ever had maybe a moment like that, you know, it would be like you lose packets or whatever, and or packet loss, and like the sim kind of closes down for you, and then you have to like relaunch, and it's obviously sucks. But it's almost like that happened, but it didn't kick him for a couple seconds. It's very, very strange. Because, yeah, I mean, we have no control over it, and we didn't even see it really on our end. So, very, very strange.
Yeah, I didn't even know until somebody, either Trevor Huff or Kevin said, "What just happened?" And I happened to look at the scoring pylon, and it's telling me that Kevin King's leading. I'm like, well, how did that happen? Because I literally never saw him pass anybody. And then that's when Wyatt came over and said I think I lagged, and because of that it pushed me behind you guys. So
man, that sucks.
I mean, it's not over. I mean, he still has a shot. He needs a caution of course, but man, that's rough. And can you imagine that happened on the Final Four race?
I know. Well, we've kind of seen that with Blaze Crawford a couple seasons ago. He lagged out, right as he crossed the line for stage 2, and ended up losing it. Most likely would have won that championship. Right now we're on the replay, watching Kevin King real quick. Right in front of him is Wyatt Tinsley. I want to see if we can kind of see from his windshield maybe when he might have disconnected, or if our replay even shows anything here. So I don't see. Oh, poof. Yeah, right there. He just poofed. And then Kevin King, he just assumes position, and right here you can see Wyatt kind of in his own space here. But man, that is super unfortunate. So yeah, right there in the replay you can see him just disappear from Kevin King's windshield. Tough break for sure, but Kevin King, man, hey, that's sometimes what has to happen to get a win. And
look, I'm gonna say that he kind of got lucky with the Chicagoland one as well. That was race 2 of the season.
That's a great point.
And I think it was Tinsley and Kenny Brady, and I think Kenny kind of checked up hard, and
they collected each other.
Gave him a bump and moved, and they both went up. Kevin tries to gas up, runs into Tinsley, and Kevin just stays on the bottom. It's just.
That's right.
Again, assumes the position, wins it on the white flag on the last corner. So, wow. I mean, I guess if I'm Tinsley, I guess I'm a little irritated, but I do know how many. I have 5 wins, and I guess if I'm also Tinsley, I'm kind of glad that this wasn't like the Final Four race and this happened.
It's a good point.
Because again, there's nothing we can do. Like that would just kind of fall as like a mechanical failure or something in the
True.
car, or the car shut off, or the car stumbled on gas or something like that, and you had to go to a different switch. You know, just stuff that happens in a real race car, because we technically wouldn't manufacture and be like, oh well, we're gonna throw a caution to put him back out, and like we don't want to be in the business of,
Yeah, you can't do that. It's
creating that. So.
It's one of those things where, listen, this is a virtual space. Network issues can happen, or internet, whatever. But that's it's I've always said, lag or netcode or dropped, packet loss or whatever it is. It's kind of like a virtual blown tire, right? Or engine blown. It's that level of thing that can happen. So it sucks, but it's just part of the organic nature of how these races can go, and internet and whatever it is. So it definitely sucks, but it is still a possibility. Either way, Wyatt Tinsley, we haven't talked about it much, but today is again the finale race of the regular season, but also the in-season tournament for the same state showdown. These past 3 races have been Rockingham, the Roval right here at Charlotte, and then here now on the oval for the 3rd race. Wyatt Tinsley has won the first 2 iterations of the in-season tournament with the Dash for Cash and then the Mid-Season Madness, and right now is leading the other 4 drivers for that. So right now it's going to be him, Cutlip, Kenny Brady, and Joseph Mealy, who have made their way to the top 4 right now, all somewhat struggling, but Wyatt Tinsley still in front in that P3. So looks like he might be, at this point with 14 to go, win all 3 in-season tournaments. That'd be pretty special for him. I know this also might be a good points day for him as well for the Crown Jewel, which is also up for grabs in 2 weeks at Daytona. So he could be our in-season champion 4 different times, Bowie. He is definitely on one for sure, and he is just definitely on a tear. But it sucks with things like this, in position to win this race for sure, and looks like right now, 13 to go, might be pretty difficult.
I mean, look, we've talked about this young man through in and throughout all season so far. Very, very talented. Is able to go out there and do things in a car that kind of reminds you maybe of a Larson, or if I can't think of the driver's name, who just is come to Trackhouse or whatever, but in the Cup car. Or even him, as they're both young.
Oh, Rajah Carew?
No, not.
Connor Zilisch.
Connor Zilisch, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, hey, look, man. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do, and he is, out here, obviously having fun, and taking the win from a lot of these guys. Hey, look, I can tell you that I've had some seasons in other leagues where I was able to do that, and I tell you what, well, actually no, it was actually here when we had the Truck Series one season, and I was winning a whole lot, and I tell you what, it was a lot of fun. A lot of people weren't really happy with me because I was winning them all, but it's when you go through in my opinion, when you go through a season and you are able to do that and just rack up wins and trophies, man, like, you just feel like you're on top of the world. And I really think that that's how he feels right now. He's just like, the only person that's going to take this away from me is either internet connections, which we recently saw, or myself. I think he can go out there and he could win it all. I think he's that talented that he doesn't need a team, really. He could just do everything himself, and I think he definitely has the ability to do it. I think he has a great shot to do it. I'm not going to say that people are going to lay down and allow it to happen, because I think the playoffs is definitely going to ramp up. But man, it's I cannot wait for these playoffs to start. I want to see who is going to step up to the plate and try to take these wins away from him.
For sure, and I think this might be a lot of motivation for Kevin King too. I mean, obviously, he might be, in a roundabout way, kind of backing into a win, but he had to be in position to get the lead, right? I mean, I've always said, people always, make fun of drivers who get, rain shortened races or wins or whatever. But it's like, listen, that's part of the game. Like, you have to either be in position to get the win or be in P1 when it rains, or that's just how it goes. And in a case like this, that's kind of that version. You know, Kevin King made the moves to make it work, to be out in front, and here he is. So this is definitely good for him. And again, maybe a lot of positive motivation to get himself through the playoffs. I know he's missed some races. You know, I know for sure that he's mentioned, hey, it's just not a lot of fun. You know, maybe this car or the especially beginning of the season with the, you know, caution fest races and things like that. But, you know, a race like this is good. This is what he wants, and I know he wants races like this. So this might be a good indication of what these playoffs are going to offer, you know, from these drivers. We've seen some aggression today, but not, you know, a lot in the sense of, you know, causing wrecks. Besides that, really that first lap one with Max Brady and Jordan Fisher, but definitely on the mend here. But 5 laps to go already. 175 laps, Bowie. We are getting to it. Kevin King up front by about 5 seconds, and field right now pretty well spread out. So it's going to be hard to see a caution come out if it were.
Yeah, please, we don't want to jinx it. We want these guys to kind of just, you know, finish it the way and I'm pretty sure Tinsley would probably love a caution. But at the same time, I think he's got to also think about, too, like, man, if we get a caution and we all get jumbled up, man, I could be taken out of this race. So let's just finish it as, I'm be honest with you, I am watching the 48 trying to make a pass on Wyatt Tinsley right here. And I'm maybe just a little shocked of the sub driver making some moves on Wyatt Tinsley.
Very impressive. Yeah, Christian Angel subbing in for Frankie Barroso, and Christian himself, he's been a full-time driver before, just recently in season 8, and man, definitely today looking very, very good in that machine. Gotta say, P3 for him is amongst some of his best finishes he's had. I think he's has a P2 under his belt at one point. Never a win, unfortunately, for Christian, but man, today has definitely shown to be a damn good race, as well as James Thurston making a move here around Wyatt Tinsley.
Hard. Oh my goodness, hard in the wall for Tinsley there. I tell you what, these guys, I think Thurston's on a mission. I think he's trying to get to his teammate in the 48 because he wants that P3. I'm pretty sure he feels like he, you know, possibly might have thrown this race away, but I mean, look, everybody is digging at this point. They know we're coming to the end, coming to the white flag, or we're on the white flag, sorry, now.
Yes, sir. Right now,
Kenny Brady is having an issue on the front stretch. I don't know where that is, and I don't see him.
Yeah, Kenny Brady tough to see right now, but man, what a good race for Kevin King. Wyatt Tinsley looked to be dominant again, but Kevin King going to come around here, turn 4, and win the IMB 250 to get himself his second win of the season in awesome fashion. Trevor Huff. Oh, Christian Angel going to be P2. What? Trevor Huff.
Oh, he ran out of gas? What in the world?
What is going on with Trevor Huff?
Wow. Oh, hard rap.
Wyatt Tinsley just died.
What in the world?
Oh my God.
What just happened?
We get So Kevin King finishes P1. Christian Angel somehow finishes P2 to match his best finish he's had in ASRA. An unbelievable job there. But James Thurston, P3 on the day, got that third spot. Trevor Huff looks like he's able to continue. Did he run out of gas?
Yeah, I think I think I heard him say that he was trying to understand how he saved all that fuel.
Man. So Trevor Huff, unfortunately, right there. Max Brady, P5, Wyatt Tinsley in P6, followed by Smecker, Austin Salyers, Julio Villalobos, John Cutlip. Man, wild finish to this race. But Kevin King gonna get the job done here. Pulls it into the pit box. Not even a burnout, nothing. All good, though. We're going to take a step aside, thank one or two sponsors. We'll come right back, folks, and talk to your top three. All right, third spot on the day today. James Thurston somehow sneaks his way into that top 3 spot. Let's try and see if we can find him real fast. Bring him into the on-air. Here he is, James Thurston, P3. Man, snuck it into the podium at the end right there. Looks like Trevor Huff maybe had to save some fuel, I guess, or ran out of fuel at the end. And pretty wild last lap. But P3, man, hey, not a bad race for you. Obviously a long one today. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna end up getting a podium there. I thought that I messed up my strategy call pretty bad when I saw that the guys up front weren't doing more to save. And I guess really the only one up there that did save enough was Kevin. I think something happened to Wyatt. I don't know if he had damage or just couldn't make it on fuel or what, but yeah, I mean, I guess Christian would have got me there if my strategy did work, but just, man, I was doing that to win the race, and I mean, third isn't bad. It's good for points, but man, I want to win. I want to win a race.
Yes, sir. I mean, hey, that's definitely coming. I feel like at this point, obviously season 8 winner or season 8 champion, so looking good there. But that win, I feel like it's coming. That Cardano machine looking as good as it always does, man. I'll give you the floor for any sponsors or shout outs. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Cardano, to Moneta, Drip Drops, 623 Speedworks. Just got to thank all of them being on this car every week and supporting me. And I think that it's about time we got them a win. We got them plenty of podiums by this point. We got to get them some wins.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, good stuff. Obviously locked into the playoffs via points, so no worries there. But going to be a lot of fun these next couple of weeks. So good stuff tonight, man, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
There he is, James Thurston. Again, P3 on the day, always finishing high, but not getting that win just yet. I think it definitely is coming. Let's bring in Christian Angel subbing in for Frankie Barroso here. This ought to be fun right now. Here he is, Christian Angel subbing in for Frankie Barroso in the 48 machine, equals his best finish of his ASRA career here in P2. Unbelievable. Had to jump into a Bowie Esports, 623, what is it? Speedworks? To get the job
Yes.
done. Man, looking pretty good, Christian. Got the job done, P2. Had a P3, but kind of lucked into that P2 with Huff losing fuel. Man, what are your thoughts on the race today?
Steve, this Unk still got it, man. Unk still got it. I got a text from Frankie like an hour before the race. I'm laying in bed, about to fall asleep. You know how it is, Steve. Like, you eat you a Wendy's burger,
yeah.
you know, you're
Butt
about to
naked.
pass out a food coma. Yeah, butt naked, and then, you know, Frankie texted me. I'm kicking my feet up in the air, and I'm like, it's Charlotte time, baby. You know, I hop in the rig, and then we got a P2. We are back.
Definitely back, and definitely great for the program right here for the 48 Harpoon Design Machine. It's good to see that car in the front. I got to say, Frankie's been absolutely cooked this entire season, and when he's even around, I don't know, he's fallen off bad. But seeing you up front, man, awesome job. You had that wreck earlier on, too. I believe it was the second caution. Got spun around, didn't seem like a lot of damage, and ended up getting the job done today in P2. So very impressive, man, and always a pleasure to have you here. I'll give you the floor, man. Any sponsors, shout-outs, or what you got?
Yeah. Shout out to Bowie and the boys for letting me be a sub driver this year. I appreciate it. It's always nice to be able to, you know, come back here to the roots, race with the guys, some good talent, you know, Thurston, Kevin King. So, you know, being able to compete with guys like that gives you a big boost in confidence, you know, letting you know that you do have the ability to drive. Shout out to Daryl. Daryl was spotting for me tonight. Obviously, Brantley, you know, for the paint, and obviously just being a great person. And also Vector. Shout out Vector. Vector was my spotter tonight, actually. He would just say car when I was clear. And that's how I got to P2. So shout out to Vector for teaching me how to save fuel and save tires.
I love that. Always a clutch moment out of Vector right there. Big shout out Hey, man, I don't know if we're going to see you again rest of the season, but if we do, it'll be a lot of fun. Have a good night, man.
I'm gonna go celebrate with a Baconator, baby. Let's go, Baconator!
There he is, Christian Angel. Absolutely. Hey, like you said, Unk status. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
He's doing the thing. Let's bring
Absolutely.
in P1, Kevin King. Man, unbelievable job out of Kevin King. Where is he? Here he is. Here's the man, Kevin King, right now in that 29 machine. Man, got the job done. Had a pretty wild race and super unfortunate out of Wyatt Tinsley. Had a connection issue or lag or whatnot. But hey, you had to be there to take advantage of that, and you got the job done, man. Second win of the season. How do you feel, dude?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like you want to feel good, but then you're like, I didn't really earn that one. I mean, I found speed towards the end of that race, but I don't think I was going to be able to pass him. I was going to try to mount a charge, and then he just disappeared. I was like, okay, he fell out, and then he blinked back, and he was 5 seconds back, and I was like, well, that sucks. So, yeah, it's cool to win for sure, but I prefer to do it under like heads up circumstances, not gimmicks and whatnot. So I would have been happy with the second. Wyatt was definitely the fastest car I felt like all night. He drove from the back to the front, and I didn't figure out the way to run it until the second stint, and then I felt like I was much better on pace. Stuck with them, and I wanted to see how it would play out, but unfortunately, like I said, he had his issues. But I've had some pretty bad races, so I'm happy to finally get a good one. Especially it's my little boy's birthday, turned 10 today, so it's a pretty cool little celebration for him too. But yeah, it was frustrating to try to like race and pass people and create runs because the track temp was so cold, but it also made it challenging because if you could do it well, like there's a few of us that were able to figure it out, we stayed up there. So it was one of those things where if you figured it out, you were up there, but it was super hard to pass. But one of those frustratingly fun environments. But yeah, I had fun. I mean, kudos to the guys for having that long a run. It was pretty awesome towards the end.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Great to see a lot of minimal cautions and, finally kind of getting into form, it looks like, for these races. So good stuff, dude, as always. Playoffs about to begin pretty soon. Obviously, you're locked in for that. So looking to see if you can win this championship. Definitely a contender for sure in my book. Floor is yours, man. Any sponsors, friends and family? What you got?
Yeah, thanks to Bowie. I wasn't able to make it to the last couple of races because of work. Environment's been a little rough, but appreciate him for not beating me up over that. All the guys, like I said, the guys did a great job tonight, just creating good racing. It was super intense to be able to, you had to run super hard and super close. So the fact that we didn't have as many yellows as we probably thought we were going to, it was, good job to everybody for putting on a good show. But all those guys, Conti guys on the open side of things, but like I said, specifically the 63 guys, Bowie, all those guys ran well. Thurston ran well. I had a fun battle the entire time, and like I said, I hate it for Wyatt. I want to win these things straight up, but it's good to see, for the most part, he had a relatively okay finish, all things considered. So we'll try it again next week.
Yes, sir, man. Good stuff as always. We'll get you then next week. Have a good time, man. Have a good night.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
There he is. Kevin King gets the job done today, man. Awesome job as usual. Man, Bowie, talk to us about how this race went for you. What do you think? It was a pretty wild one at times, but overall, I think it was definitely a good race. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I thought it was a good race as well. Minimal cautions, well, 1 or 2 or 3 cautions I think we had. And it just allowed these guys to just drive. Like Kevin said, it allowed him to kind of figure things out. He's on the West Coast, so he doesn't get a lot of time to practice. He doesn't really get into these sessions until maybe 10-15 minutes left, so he's kind of has to figure out stuff on the fly, which I mean honestly might not be the worst thing in the world for him. But we had the long green flag runs. We got to see some green flag pit stops, which again for me it's super fun to watch because I love to try to guess the strategy and kind of see where things are going to happen and what things are going to do. And it just was a good race, honestly. You got to see some good pack racing. Well, not pack racing, Jesus. We are now at a super speedway. We got to see some good side-by-side racing. You actually did see kind of people move around. You did get to see. I know Trevor was. I know he loves riding the wall, so you got to see him ride the wall, and you did also see people kind of just stay low on the bottom, but. You got to see people. I think Thurston was kind of running the middle to high, and I think I saw a couple other guys run like middle to low. So it provided, the day to night definitely provided some moving around, which is great. That's a lot better than I thought we would have had. Cause usually night racing, like Kevin said, because the track is cooler, it kind of provides maybe a 1.5 groove lane. But hey, Charlotte is put on, and again, this is the updated version of Charlotte, I believe. But it put up a great race. So, shout out to you for picking the track. I mean, like you said, shout out to all the drivers, man. They definitely raced hard, but for the most part, they raced clean. They understood, what was at stake, and try not to, wreck out or anything like that. And they did what they needed to do.
Yes, sir. Awesome race as usual. Man, looking good today for sure. But next week, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, the wild card race. Different format, unique as always. Cannot wait to get that thing going on. So a lot of fun. Going to be getting that again next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Be here on race day. Check it out. Going to be a lot of fun. Championship 12 will be decided after tonight's race right now that we just had. So we'll get those points updated and out for the driver. So that's going to be it. Brendan Bowie, I'm Steve Tucker. Have a good night. We'll see you next Tuesday again. And hey, have a good night. Have a good week.